Good noon, I'm Adventure Argonaut, and it is still technically noon here. And this is, of course, Rogue Trader. And we finally reached Dargonus. Last time we managed to leave the jungle planet of Quetzaltemer. I even remember the name now. And there's gonna be a trial. But okay, my streams are working. Like, what's wrong? Like, recently all my streams seem to be up and running pretty fast. Like, not many issues at the start of the stream. But anyway, so there's some trial of the Versarian family being accused of, I don't know, some sort of mischief. And of course, Versarian means the Abelard, one of the party members and his family or something. And there's some rebellious servitors that were shot down here. The bodies bear multiple wounds. It is evident that they died recently.
The duty prevails.
There's a crumbled up letter inside of the assailant's blood-soaked jacket. Well, can we get the letter? No. What does the letter say? That would be nice to know. Why isn't it working? Okay. Alright. Oh, we got the letter. Okay, it would be nice for the game to actually tell me we got the letter, but at least I'm smart enough to check. And yeah, I'm gonna say I'm smart because that's retarded. Like, normally when you get items, the game sort of tells you. It's probably in the log, I can check later. Anyway, the letter is soaked with blood. Only a portion of the letter is readable through the crimson blotches. Careful and discreet. I guess careful and discreet. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation with anyone. Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of time. Let the Versarians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the rogue trader. Let the Versarians get away while the wardens are busy. So I guess it's either the Versarians are trying to escape or somebody's gonna try to frame them that they're trying to escape. Okay, here it says, but I don't think we got any, like, if this is not on, we wouldn't notice that. We get a letter. Got a dead letter, dead letter. Alright, let's go to the palace. So what sort of a trial? Will we have an actual trial, or will it be interrupted by the forces of chaos or Skeletor or something?
What are you whispering, pure-hearted sister? A command to the fearsome spirits of battle?
No, Brother Ulfa. I humbly pray that the Emperor sends clarity to my eyes, so that they might recognize falsity and then destroy it.
Okay, so there's a meeting here. Let me through, I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementia Versarian. My apologies, my lord, but you cannot go any further. Governor drives them orders. This is ridiculous, I shall complain. But are they speaking Italian or something? Move over. Let his lordship, the rogue trader, through. I humbly beg your pardon, your lordship. Your lordship, please this way. Governor Urban threats. Your lordship, dishonor. Governor Urban drives them seems to materialize out of thin air. So suddenly does he emerge from the crowd. I regret that such unfortunate circumstances have occasioned Rogue Trader's visit to the capital. Yeah, I have like, bigger stuff to do, like, fighting forces of chaos and the Drukhari and stuff. Clementia tries to take a step toward you, but the warden nearby stops her. Her face is veiled with fear and weariness. Your lordship, you are here. Please, you must hear us out. Rogue Trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us, and to punish the traitors. Governor's words directed at Clementia are harsh. They are echoed by scornful sneers and whispers of the assembled nobles. We have known each other for many decades now, and we have had our fair share of disagreements, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very tradition of honor and loyalty? Abelard's voice is quivering with rage. The governor sweeps his gaze over Abelard and then replies, a faint shadow of doubt in his voice. We have evidence implicated in Abelard. I'm sure his lordship will arrive at a fair ruling. What are the charges against House Vetzerian? Disruption of logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus administrative officials, document forgery, and organization of heretical insurrections. On top of the evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your protectorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of the imperial tithe, which in turn has drawn the administratum's attention. Needless to say, the esteemed Adeptus Arbites cannot ignore this situation either, and before their representatives arrive at the palace, we are obligated to identify and punish those responsible. Clementia, I wish to hear your account. Your lordship, House Verserian denies all charges laid against it. Clementia glanced at the governor with defiance. These last few months have indeed been trying for Dargonus, but we have done our best to remedy the situation. My family's every effort was focused on stabilizing the capital's logistics and economy. So much so that we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our backs. What happened on Dargonus in my absence? We got the wind of the rumors of your disappearance. We patiently waited news of your return, but then Dargonus was struck by a series of terrible events. The first was the sabotage of logistics that hampered shipments. Then mass unrest spread across the entire planet, and the minor noble houses began squabbling among themselves, trying to pin the blame on their rivals. We took great pains to calm them down and managed to squash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. These events have also been overshadowed by the, I'm ashamed to even say it out loud in front of your lordship, the rumors circulating among some higher houses. The governor stammers, then takes a deep breath. Some were calling for Theodora Struer to be installed as the head of the house. Conrad Voigtweir. Not all of your subjects have forgotten his past efforts for the benefit of the whole protectorate. I just want to shoot Governor Drivestem even now for even mentioning it, like, because he's not framing it that is absolutely heretical to allege anything like that. Drivestem stops talking, watching you with tense expression. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led us to the Verserians. Why are there dead bodies at the entrance to my palace? Your lordship, I humbly beg your pardon. Drivestem bows once again, trying to placate you. You see, right before your arrival, the palace guard discovered a plot to assassinate you. Fortunately, the malefactors were disposed of before they could cause you any harm. Drivestem, you aren't accusing one of Dargonus' leading noble houses of treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course I have evidence, your lordship. The investigation has established that members of the Verserian family, which is responsible for both Dargonus' fleet and logistics, used their contacts and influence to forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, thus fomenting unrest among the inhabitants. Allow me to introduce my son Cornelius. His bunghole will speak now. Cornelio! Nicaragua! Anyway, the governor points to the lanky young man standing beside him. He bows curtly but avoids meeting your eye. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the administrative palace, and it is thanks to him that we managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents. The investigation led us to the perpetrators, who admitted to acting on the orders of the members of the House Verserian. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of Rogue Trader to the true heir. So some perpetrators admitted that Verserians. It's easy to frame something like that. Of course, it's possible that the Verserians are guilty, but like that would be actually an interesting plot twist if Clementia is actually guilty of this, like, you know. Because obviously Governor drives them is more sus. This young man is shrouded in a mist of grey and blue. Sickly shadows of fear are fluttering around him. Cassia speaks so quietly that only you can hear. Okay, so he is fearful. Speak to the heads of houses present. Do you support the governor's accusations? Aristocrats in attendance exchange glances, noble lords averting their gazes and noble ladies hiding behind their fans. No one is willing to be the first to answer. Macarius Sourback. Over his many years of service, Governor Drivestem earned Theodora's trust, and he holds his high office for a reason. Sourback's tone is stern and imperious. On behalf of House Sourback, I support his accusations. Regina Sourback. My apologies, your lordship, but I wish to speak to. Regina looks into your eyes with a tender half smile, then turns her gaze to her husband. Eyes there, hot chick, right? Of course I agree with my husband. Governor Drivestem would not press charges against anyone if he were not absolutely certain of the authenticity of the evidence he has unearthed. No, it wasn't Sourback, it was the other house, maybe. Anyway, I think anyone here would agree that anyone who ever doubts the authority of the true rogue trader should be prosecuted. I'm sure, your lordship, that you will eradicate the scourge of heresy from your domain. Regina bows to you deferentially while maintaining eye contact with you. Toriana Gaprak. Your lordship. Sorry. I started to cough as she started to speak, so she's the culprit here, the mastermind, clearly. Your lordship, Governor Drivestem has always faithfully served rogue traders of House von Valancius, and so concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty, and so House Caprak thinks his charges against House Verserian to be sound. The augmetics hide Toriana's emotion, but her voice sounds slightly timorous. I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in the Adeptus Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital. Oh my god, undermining the economy, that's the worst thing ever. I don't have time to deal with these drives now. I accept the findings for your investigation of adversary skill. Sabotaging logistics. Like, this is like, you know, just release them from custody. Well, no, there's clearly something going on. Like, you know, either it drives them or the Verserians conspiring or Toriana Gaprak or whatever her name was. Like, somebody here is scheming, so we should look into it like deeper. There's stuff going on. Sabotaging logistics riots conspiracy. The case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision. As you wish, your lordship. The governor inclines his head in a stiff bow. Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I am certain that all the charges are false, and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present. The noble lords and ladies. Wasn't there we met the one chick who was it like Clementia, whatever her name, her daughter or something, who's very promising. Maybe she's the traitor, so it's not like all of House Vaserian, but her. Scheming with Tori and a Gaprak. I trust my cuff more than any of these NPCs, definitely. So let's go investigate. Oh, come on, fuck you, game. Like, why does it, like, why? Like, always, like, you know, I can accept that, you know, when I load a game, it reshuffles these characters, but, like, why when I move through different screens or something, like, it also, like, how is it so difficult to allow me to maintain the same order? I don't know what the fuck is going on. I am just a servant, my lord. I'm a loyal subject to the Emperor. I serve only him and our esteemed rogue trader. Greetings, your lordship. Rhymes them aristocrat. Rosarians are nothing but a bunch of upstarts. What have they ever done to deserve their standing? Urband. Governor drives them surrounded by his retinue, who are all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggest that they are all come from one family. Your lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. The governor bows and the rest hasten to follow suit. What do you make of this letter? I found it on one of the assailants. Governor drives them, peers closely at the bloodstained paper. It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Vaserian. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape escape custody during the confusion that followed. All the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus. High-functioning servitors drives them ponderously, rubbing his chin and his thumb. Such servitors are indeed rare, and Gapraks do have... See, I said it's the Gapraks. Do have them in their service, but this could have been done intentionally with the eye of confusing you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them. Tell me more about your son, drives them. Thank you for your interest, lordship, but I am not worthy of it. The governor's son... I know, it's Cornelius. Thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I am not worthy of it. The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? Except speak with your bumhole. I manage the documents and records related to economy of Dragonus. Ah, well, he should know about the alleged economic shenanigans. You probably know how scrupulous the workers at Adeptus and Administratum are. I'm afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative process of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. Cornelius tries to look you in the eye, but it's clearly hard for him to do so. How did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? When compiling reports on the last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures with the help of the other clerks. I managed to find several other documents. Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Ew, you should spit, don't swallow. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable.
father and I have managed to single out the administrative clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Viserion. Everyone was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems.
But does House Viserion have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all of this in a place where they do not hold any power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his pensive frock coat.
I think the right amount of money can open any door.
Cornelius, what's the true reason for your nervousness? The young man's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath.
This is the first time I have spoken face to face to Rogue Trader. I'm afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important.
The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else? Coercion, yeah. Place your hand on your weapon. You are speaking to a rogue trader, and my patience is running out. Success, of course. You see the flash of terror in Cornelius's eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly without raising his head.
Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do it anymore. This lie has gone too far. I can no longer control it. The truth is that all the logistical problems were caused by a single error in the numbers. My mistake.
Oh, okay. I didn't see this one, unraveling so fast. What? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged.
When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend the Versarians were responsible for the mistake.
So there's clearly a conspiracy there where the supposed assassins in the yard and stuff. So yeah, it's not all his scheming or whatever.
As for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it and
Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Urban curls his hands into fists, knuckles turning white. What have you done? How could you, your lordship? He suddenly turns to you as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. I trusted my son and have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Abelard shakes his head. And you called my family's honor into question, Urban. Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he's down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means that House Viserion can now be cleared of all charges. But we still do not know who was behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, the assassination attempt. Someone is committing their foul deeds and sowing chaos right under the subject's noses. To leave that stone unturned would be dangerous. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate?
we communicated by DMs. By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeeds. In return, I would name the Versarians as the ones who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters that keep my mouth shut.
I guess I will be lenient. Urban, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship. The governor bows low, then gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration. And as your opposition, I think you will be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. I shall return to you later. Let's go talk to other people still. I hope we can find more evidence of something.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Storm Warden. Long live the road trader. Okay, there's some sourbacks. Versarians thought too highly of themselves. Luckily, their brush with power has been brief. You don't know the latest news, I see. Okay. Before bowing, Sauerback scrutinizes you with a bitter, judgmental look. Your lordship? Hetka Sauerback, looking like a younger copy of his father. Hetka, so that's a guy. I thought it was a woman. Stands at a slight distance close to his mother. An expensive yet understated dress serves to highlight the dazzling beauty of Macarius's wife, Regina Sauerback. Okay, so it was Regina who was the hot piece of ass. Your lordship, I am delighted that you have chosen to grace us with your attention. Regina drops into a curtsy while looking intently into your eyes. Yeah, kiss Regina's hand. I'm honored, Lady Sauerback. Noticing your gesture, Regina readily extends her delicate hand, her nails long and manicured. Why, how kind of you to say, your lordship. Burning eyes fixed on you, Sauerback straightens and leans forward, trying to partially occupy the space between you and his wife. I don't know, this is very wrong, but it's also funny. Set against the doom and gloom of current events, your husband's dour family, you look especially dazzling today, Regina. Success, a flirtatious spark flares into Regina's beautiful lady's eyes. Really, your lordship, I'm glad to hear this from the rogue trader, especially today. Macarius almost barks, each word striking like a hammer strikes metal. Regina, step away from his lordship. Regina's high voice almost breaks into a shriek. She interrupts her husband, retorting defiantly and disobediently. Oh, throne preserve you, Macarius. Stop being so jealous and making a scene over nothing. Just because a crude blockhead like you lacks the refinement and courtesy of Adolf Argonaut von Valentius. Yeah, exactly. Regina's voice drops to a whisper so that only you can hear her. His bile poisons the air around him wherever he goes. Once he gets something into his head, he hairs off to remove the heads of others just to prove that he is in the right. So do you really believe the Versarians are guilty? Certainly, Sauerback replies without hesitation. Governor drives them, possesses proof of their guilt, and they have no means by which to refute it. Well, that's old news now. Even if I were to entertain the idea that the Versarians are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway, if it is so ill-prepared for treachery? He addresses Abelard with a slightly mocking tone. My advice to House Versarian would be not to appeal to the rogue trader for help, but instead simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse for themselves. I cannot remember Adolf Argonaut von Valentius seeking your advice on what House Versarian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius. Focus on rogue trader's questions. Who apart from the Versarians could have a motive to conspire against me? House drives them, wishing to expand their clout. House Gaprak, who lost their influence after the Kiev Gamma incident. Sauerback looks back at his family, then turns to you again. House Sauerback, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the rogue trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally they could have none. It is not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your subjects has sworn an oath of loyalty to you, so whose sincerity do you doubt? The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning servitors. Do you think the Gapraks could be behind the attack? Sauerback looks briefly and replies to you with a curt laugh. I have always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her. Okay, didn't say much, and we didn't get to fuck the wife either. Oh, there's Gapraks. Lords and ladies sumptuously dressed in the colors of House Gaprak are standing in a half circle around Toriana and her son Vicent, not Vincent. Or is it Vicent? Bicentennial. The bodies and faces of almost every member of this dynasty are covered in large ornate augmetics. Toriana Gaprak curtsies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent. Greetings, your lordship. May the Omnisia grant you understanding. I don't know how I should make the mechanical voice. With a click, her visor oculars swivel to the seneschal. Abelard, it must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances, with your house standing accused of such grave crime. My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach. Do you think the accusations against House Viserion family are true?
I would not take such a responsibility upon myself and rule on their guilt, your lordship. I do think gravity drives them accusations are worthy of consideration, however.
In your opinion, which nobles might have a reason to be party to such conspiracy? She thinks for several moments before replying. It's her.
Pardon my bluntness, your lordship, but I will answer truthfully. It could be anyone. Greed, fear, and ideals can drive even the most loyal subjects to do the unthinkable.
I have examined the bodies of the assailants were killed today. All of them were highly functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to Adeptus Mechanicus. Isn't that so? It's impossible to read Toriana's emotions in her heavily augmented face, but her sudden turn towards her family betrays her confusion and surprise. Perplexed, whispers bounce from one family member to another. Impossible! We came here by ourselves, without any servitors. We know nothing about it.
Your lordship, thank you for informing of this. You are absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with high-functioning servitors. A blessing for those who revere the Omnisia, but today, none of our house members were accompanied by them.
I found this note on the bodies of one of the attackers. What are your thoughts on it? Toriana's mechanical fingers grip the paper.
Officially high-functioning servitors are employed by my house and my house alone. If such units were to attack the rogue trader, suspicion would instantly fall upon the Gapraks. I assume that this is what the Verserians intended to happen, but they did not expect that the servitors would have this letter on them.
Vicent, I wish to speak to you.
Ready to serve, your lordship. How may I help you?
What do you make of the charges against Verserian family? Why are you suddenly like in private? Does it mean he's like a hell demon or something, and he's gonna burst out of his flesh? So what do you make of charges against Verserian family? Are they guilty?
I do not think I can doubt the validity of the accusations, but
Vicent's voice trails off, and he seems to retreat into himself for a moment. Before continuing, he takes a deep breath.
I'm also not sure that the House Verserian had a reason to betray you, your lordship. I do not know of any instance where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less than unwavering.
I know you care for Astertia Verserian. Are you prepared to watch her die? Vicent's jaw screeches slightly. The young man scrutinizes his mother and the other family members for a few moments.
There is something you ought to know, your lordship. Today I noticed one of my family members to be in an odd, uncharacteristic mood. Halen Gaprak is my paternal second cousin once removed. May the Emperor save his soul. Usually reserved and self-possessed. Today he was frantic and anxious, fidgeting with a small piece of paper, seemingly looking for someone to no avail. When I last saw him, he was headed for the entrance hall, where the altars are. Perhaps you should talk to him.
That will do, pig. Okay, so what was his name? Whatever. Gaprak. Halen. Van Halen? And I guess we should still talk to the Verserians, even though I doubt they will know anything, because it's been confirmed that they have been framed, more or less. Lady Clementia, she won't let us be killed, will she? Your lordship, these accusations against my family simply make no sense. I humbly beseech you to speak with Clementia. Okay. Let me fucking speak with Clementia, you fucking... Is this Clementia? Yes. I should just let the stream go like this for 1 hour. How fucking difficult is it to talk to one fucking NPC? Okay, finally. As you draw closer, the warden step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Verserian family. Clementia Titan, slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your lordship, the woman stammers as if lost for words. Accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your final decision. The charges brought by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this and swear on my honor we are not guilty of the crimes that House Verserian is being accused of. Clementia, hint of sorrow creeps into Abelard's voice, belying his stern facade. You were acting head of family. You were supposed to take care of each and every family member. Now you are being accused of treason and collusion against Rogue Trader, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen? Yeah, good point. Are you truly guilty? Be honest. I will not tolerate lies. Clementia, if you know that a member of your family is guilty of the crimes you are being accused of. Abelard, it is your family too, you know. The woman's words burn with defiance. My apologies. I should not lose my composure. No member of House Verserian is involved in a conspiracy against his lordship. Honor and loyalty are not something we take lightly. We know whom we serve. The governor claims you forged documents in the administratum. The fleet is the primary remit of House Verserian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of responsibility. We have no direct influence on the inner workings of the Adeptus Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after the quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. Then we were faced with incorrect weather data and meager fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of all these problems was the calculations performed in the Administratum. In one way or another, but no matter how many times we asked, we could not ever obtain any clarification on the matter. I found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? While Clementia reads the letter, the Verserians behind her head read it over her shoulder. Your lordship, let us be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this, knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace. I would not have let myself or anyone in my family get involved in such a scheme. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that looked closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Servitors, is that so? Like, I've never heard of this kind of servitors, but I guess they're a thing. Clementia crosses her arms and furrows her brow, deep in thought. I have encountered servitors that were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanying several members of House Gaprak. So maybe it's Sourback is like trying to frame both Verserian and Gaprak as guilty. But I still think it has to be Toriana. My cough proves it. If you are not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain from framing you? Anyone, really? Clementia replies with a bitter laugh. The other houses consider us unworthy of our position, and many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what once was our domain. The plan is fleet and logistics at the very least. Lady Theodora chose to grant noble status to House Verserian, but the other houses, which we have served in the Expanse for millennia, did not welcome the decision. It has led to some difficulties. I want to find out what's going here and who the real mastermind is behind all this. Where should I start? I'm afraid I cannot be of much help. I'm very incompetent. Talk to the representatives of other houses. Eavesdrop on their retinue. Perhaps you will hear something unusual. So now we have to find Van Halen. So shrine, which shrine? Jump, however the song goes. Okay, we Vincent, Capra, Macarius, Cornelius. There's 3 characters here with. Have I Regina, Macarius, Het, I guess. Can we talk to her? No, we can't talk to her separately. Like, I'd like to, you know, employ your expertise in my private chambers. Would you, Miss Regina, or Miss it? Yeah, Miss. Yeah, call her Miss Regina. There's Van Halen. So I guess he's the mastermind, or at least like the true mastermind's puppet. Maybe it's like, you know, if you think the mastermind is some vampire, this is Renfield or something probably. Finely dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of the altar, his palms folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are sickly blue color. The nobleman does not react to your presence. He does not lift his head. No, he does not blink. He does not even breathe. Only when you draw closer, you realize he's dead. Okay. I didn't see that one coming. Bullard looks at the man, his eyes grim. The colors of House Gaprak. I do not believe he decided to change his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens. Seneschal looks around. There is no one to ask about what happened here or with whom this man spoke to before he died. I would like to ask Arband where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. Medicae tried to determine cause of death. Death came for him suddenly and ravaged his body with the cramping spasms that prevented him from falling to the ground. Some rare poisons have such side effects. I wonder if it's the Drukhari then. The affected victim suffocates slowly without being able to move or call for help. Isn't this the story of the murders on Yangtze River? Like, you know, the game I streamed a bit before I started streaming this like 2 years ago, or however I've been streaming Rogue Trader. I examined the body. Success. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the coat trim collar you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, likely a wound caused by a thin needle. Search the pockets. Ooh, you discover a secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket. You find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. H.G. Wells! H.G. Wells is the, you know, the guy who wrote War of the Worlds. And the save file I just said was War Planet. See, it's gonna be the tripods. They're attacking the Dargonus. We have to get the flu quick. So make sure that Rogue Trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let Verserian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. It's a bit too on the nose. I don't know if it's bad writing or like it's still trying to be deceptive. Or maybe it is somebody in the Verserian family. Maybe like, you know, some I don't know. Yeah. Look around. You're almost certain that wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to put to Governor Drivestem. Step away from the corpse. These guys didn't. Well, he looked like he was praying.
Know your duty.
But yeah, we didn't get a trial. We got a murder investigation and stuff, so that's good. That's what I excel at. I'm, you know, the best detective in the universe, or any universe, multiverse, whatever, any timeline. That's canon, you know. And maybe I should just show this place to Regina, and like, you know, we can investigate the murder later.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Okay, I just wanted to... No, this just gives the camera pan of the palace and stuff. Let's go back to... Oops, drive stem. Ulfa. Must be fun for a freaking space marine just to be in here talking to nobles, vapid nobles, and blah, 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 blah. I guess we're gonna get some demon attack eventually. How may I serve you, your lordship? Are you ready to pronounce verdict yet? Why can't we ask him about him? Where are the guards? Okay, how about can we ask Clemency about it?
What is rightfully
Like
ours.
this investigation is like, you know, bit arbitrary what you can mention to people. How about Vincent, who told us that Halen is sus. Lords and ladies, yeah, whatever. Okay. So we can talk to them. I discovered a dead body, member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Toriana covers her open mouth with her hand and in surprise and turning her family looks for someone among them. Halen! Can't be! Halen, was it? Tell me about him, Toriana. Oh yeah, she's supposed to have this stupid voice. Halen, in front of the low-ranking members of the members of House Caprak. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office, but he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiavagava and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Halen was one of them. What could have happened to him? Toriana's visor oculars are fixed on the floor, her fingers restlessly clenching the fabric of her dress. Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Valacia's trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiavagama, a truly devastating blow to every member of House of Caprak. I lost all hope of the future and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were and still are more than capable of doing that, but I will not deny it. The other houses have offered us their assistance for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Halen decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back. Seneschal bows ever so slightly and speaks quietly so that only you can hear him. Lord Captain, the Capraks, all or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved. But I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Halen Caprak could not be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deft puppet master. We must expose whoever that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. What do you suggest we do? Interrogate the heads of Drivestem and Sourback houses. One of them has been pulling the strings here. Once we uncover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will be publicly executed. Before you pronounce the verdict, I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech. I shall observe them. I have known those people far longer than you have. I know their gestures, habits, and behavioral quirks. I am sure that I will be able to determine which of them was responsible for the riots based on their behavior. Alright. Now then, let's go talk to Sourbacks. It's not a quarterback, it's a Sourback. Discovered dead body in the palace. Man of House Caprak was killed while praying to the Emperor. I had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? Macarius looks at the note without taking it from your hands. He replies without hesitation. No, I know nothing about this note. Okay. So we can't ask anything else. Okay, fine.
Let us walk this path to the end.
So does it mean that it's somebody from Drives them all along? Okay, now we can do this. I discovered the body of Halen Gaprak here in the palace. He had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? The younger members of the Veserian family crowd around to examine the note in Clementia's hands. All present are beset with worry and bewilderment. I'm not sure if it is relevant, but perhaps you should know. Since the fall of Kiavagama, House Gaprak has been failing poorly, to say the least. They have been looking for ways to enhance their influence and improve their lot, including asking for help from the other noble houses. They have not approached us. Of course, it is shameful to seek help from those you consider your inferiors, you understand, but perhaps the Drive Stems or the Sourbacks can tell you more about this matter. When in doubt, save. That's what the game told me. Because we will probably have to do some roles at some point, you know, persuasion, awareness, and stuff like that. Okay, I found dead body in my palace house. Member of House Gaprak was slain in front of the altar. Do you know anything about it? A member of House Gaprak was killed in the palace. Governor's eyes bulged in surprise. No one noticed, but how? There are wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens had left their post. Did you order them then to do so? Did. Emperor forbid, your lordship. The governor helplessly throws his hands up in the air as if to signify his powerlessness. Your negligence is stunning, Urbent. An assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and of failing to even notice it. It may be so, but it is for the rogue trader to accuse me of negligence and not you. The governor addresses you. I think the world would be a much better place if we had, you know, rogue traders and people like that ruling over. Like, it could be a bit arbitrary, but it's already arbitrary, but in the wrong way. Anyway, your lordship, accept my deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor. I shall send the servants to deal with all this immediately. Did you see Van Halen Gaprak today before I arrived? Halen. I did not see him myself, but perhaps. Governor turns around and asks his family, have any of you seen him today? Drives them aristocrat. Nobles talk quietly among themselves, then a middle-aged woman with a tall, extravagant hairstyle replies to you. I think my sister and I saw him sitting on a bench some distance away from the palace's entrance. We think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship, we could not make out his face. Lead me to that place. Of course, consider it done. Maybe he took a shit on the bench, and now it smells like chaos. So we have to follow her. Does it mean that she's gonna get attacked? Why is she so slow?
I need to look closer.
Ah, okay. I thought it was like. It's an another assist. Yeah. But I thought it was like outside, but no.
Accomplished.
Accomplished? What did we notice? Hey, game. I think that's a bug or something, not a feature. Did we get an item? No. So Abelard said, I recognize this bouquet. House Sarback usually serves this wine. So does it mean that Sourback is implicated? I don't know. This is a bit weird. Where's Sourback's? Now I'm confused with the directions. I've been turning the camera around too much. Sourback. These are Sourbacks, right? Yes. No. Okay. I don't even understand the comment. I recognize this bouquet. How Sarbak usually serves this wine. How are the bouquet and the wine related? And is there something else on the bench?
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
I don't see a bouquet or a wine, so that's another, like, or is it just a random comment that Abelard happened to say? Or is it bugged somehow? Is that the thing? Okay, we can't ask anything else.
Watches over us.
See if Clementi has anything to add.
The Emperor sets my path.
I'm gonna check online because I'm seriously not sure whether this is buggy. Like, is there supposed to be, like, something happen? Just a moment. All right, I'm asking Grok to help me with this because it's like I want to get to the bottom of this thing, but it's like this is so weird. Like, so yeah, okay. You, are more precisely, Abelard discovered a bouquet of flowers and a bottle of wine, especially Sarbak wine, distinctive bouquet of house Sarbak serves. Abelard comments he recognizes smell of specific wine, strong evidence linking Sarbak to conspiracy. They were there to, and okay, the piece of evidence is important in the final verdict place. I guess it works then. So all right, I probably supposed to do go to the final phase then. I'm gonna make my verdict that part. So that's all the evidence. So it's like because like Abelard wasn't even on the screen when we checked the stuff, and it's like because there's no bouquet or wine there, and it's so confusing. All right, let's go finish the trial then.
Faith guide my path to glory.
Summon everyone. I'm ready to pronounce my verdicts. Now I'm Hercule Poirot in space. Governor drives them, tensely bows, and replies without hesitation. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. Many faces are watching you, each and every one awaiting the rogue trader's verdict with bated breath. The charges brought by Governor Driveston were fabricated. House Verserian had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue trader. However, real perpetrators are here in this very room. Seneschal nods towards you as if urging you to continue, then shifts his piercing gaze to the crowd before you. Okay, I guess maybe just do this in order. Everything is 100% success rate anyway. Urban drives them. You have exhibited inexcusable negligence by failing to question the possible involvement of any other family besides the Veserians. We have discovered that the attempt on my life was orchestrated by a member of House Gaprak. Oh, they just beamed in. The governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting the better of him. Some faces in the crowd look confused and surprised, but you see more wearing expressions of self-satisfied contempt. Abelard looks from the governor to you and suddenly shakes his head, as if to say, no, it's not Drivestem pulling the strings here. Okay, Herbert Drivestem, you have accused House Verserian of violations that were in truth a result of a grave error committed by your son. The governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting better of him. Some faces in the crowd looks confused, surprised, but you see more varying expressions of self-satisfied contempt. No, okay, shakes his head. Toriana Gaprak, member of your family, orchestrated an assassination attempt against me here in my own palace. And though he has already been found dead, his act of is reason enough to forever brand your house as traitors. Mocking whispers creep through the crowd. Toriana is trembling faintly. She still does not raise her head, perhaps out of fear of meeting her fate face to face. The Seneschal's hard gaze softens, an elusive gesture visible only to you conveys the message. Toriana Gaprak is guilty only of her own poor judgment. Macarius Sourback, your overt contempt towards me is reason enough to implicate you in the conspiracy. Crowd remains silent with only their tense, anxious gazes darting back and forth between you and Macarius. Sourback's brows rise higher and you notice his jaw working nervously. Abelard narrows his eyes and scrutinizes Macarius Sourback and his retinue standing behind him. For a second his sharp eyes seem to have caught sight of something, only to lose track of it the next moment. As a disappointed sight tells you, it could be Sourback, but is he really the one behind all this? So I know that House Sourback offered their help to the Gapraks, and the late Halen Gaprak seem to have accepted their offer. I suspect that you are responsible for his death as well. Sourback furrows his brows and slightly cocks his head, and he averts his gaze for the first time as if trying to remember or make sense of something. You notice some restless movements behind him. Abelard narrows his eyes and scrutinizes Macarius Sourback and his retinue standing behind him. His sharp eyes light up when he catches sight of something important and hidden in the crowd. The Seneschal looks at you and nods as if to say, the puppeteer has given themselves away. Pronounce the verdict. So is it Regina after all? Oh my god, now she has to become my concubine to make up for it. In the conspiracy against the Rogue Trader, I find the air in the room is frozen with a tense, almost electrified silence. All of the nobles, some with fear and others with reverent anticipation, await your verdict. Okay, so House Sourback guilty. Seneschal, you may take it from here. Yeah, okay. Abelard steps forward and stares intently at House Sourback's patriarch. Macarius, I must admit I have always admired your bluntness. But just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now, in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valancius? Sourback narrows his eyes, grimacing. I am loyal, Verserian. Abelard studies Sourback, then suddenly nods. You are not lying. But someone else is. Someone else is poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Macarius does not have time to respond to Regina. Oh my god, no, Regina! Who is standing beside him, raises her arm as if to slap the elderly Seneschal. Abelard's deftly... Where is she? She's not nowhere nearby him. Abelard deftly catches her wrist, stopping her hand right in front of his face. Her dainty hand is adorned with massive augmetic ring topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Ah, okay, there she is. Nice dodge. Ugh. He's played his Dark Soul, this famous video game you may have heard of. Sauerbach shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard, then back again. The stiff arrogance has vanished from his posture. Regina, you! Mother! Upon realizing what happened, Hetka recoils from his mother. So she's quite a MILF. I wasn't sure if it's like, maybe she's a younger wife or something, a second wife or something. Macarius, your bluntness makes you an open book. When I talked about helping the Gapraks, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Sauerbach, you alone betrayed the rogue trader, jeopardizing the prosperity of the Van Valentius trade dynasty, and you are alone responsible for your unmasking. Regina, why would you do this? Like the spike on her ring, Regina's words are dripping with poison and rage. Because Dargonis is serving an impostor, the true heir to the Protectorate bears different name. When Conrad appeared on Dargonus, he paid me a visit, opened my eyes to the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwarily taken on her wing. Macarius is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue trader, even an illegitimate one. So I had to wait for the right moment, and the disappearance of the Lord Captain could not have come at a better time. It was quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dargonus so that the people remembered Master Voigtvir's past service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Why the Versarians? Because when stripped of the Seneschal's protection, this house is the weakest one on all of Dargonus, and they are also particularly disliked by the governor's family. It would have been easy to bury the Versarians under accusations of heresy. Who aided you? There's no way you manage all of this on your own. Oh, of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to list them all, but rest assured, there are plenty of them, just as there are plenty of people who follow Master Voigtvir. My death will not change anything. The true rogue trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Why did you kill Van Halen Gaprak? Halen was a good agent, but he was also a coward. He came to me just before our formidable rogue trader arrived. He was ready to confess everything. I suggested he plead for the Emperor's forgiveness first. He did grant him mercy, did he not? Okay. I thought there could have been something special between us. Regina cocks her head and smiles at you just as sweetly as before. I admit I had my regrets about causing you such difficulties. But what was I to do? Duty calls for us to rein in our most genuine desires. Isn't that right, Rogue Trader? Well, we can still, give in to our desires. Abelard, the sentence has yet to be carried out. Finish her. Abelard turns his gaze to you. Is it smart to turn your back to her? She just tried to stab you with some poison ring. Does the rogue trader condemn the only rotten apple of the entire barrel? I will not probably they would deserve it, but it would also create even bigger power imbalance between the scheming families. So I will not exterminate an entire noble line that is loyal to me just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Sauerbach shall be subjected to instant interrogation following by execution. Traitor's ring. Marvelous combat weapon in the form of a ling, because it says liquefied, so okay, whatever. A ring that allows the wearer to fire a liquefied shot once per combat. Torture by interrogation by Snoo Snoo. I'm just thinking, like, if you play this as a follower of Chaos, I guess she can still try to kill you because she still serves Conrad and he's a competitor. By the order of Rogue Trader, Regina Sauerback is sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against the Von Valancius trade dynasty.
Aye.
Justice. So sad. And you know what made her hot? Because you can't actually see her face and like and disagree with the statements. Like the game tells you she's hot, so your imagination fills in the rest. When the nobles disperse, sated by the bloody performance, Abelard approaches you, his steps firm. Lord Captain, you have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on the matters that his servants and trustees can resolve. But in this case, your intervention was necessary, not just for the sake of my family, but your trade dynasty as well. Regina Sauerback, evidently Conrad's accomplices continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we have not heard the last of such scoundrels. You executed Regina Sauerback on charges of treason. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Viserion is saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without impudence within. Abelard pauses for a moment, staring off into the distance. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. I could ensure they survive in the future without me. What are you gonna do now? I need time to reflect upon what happened and the role I played in it. I think I will be ready to resume conversation later when we are back on board the ship. Abelard bows to you deferentially and turns away, lost in thought. So let's check out the ring. I haven't really been using these ring weapons at all. Was liquefier shot. 15 to 25 damage. Contaminates a 3-cell radius area which inflicts 10 toxic damage. Toxic damage applies melting in return. I think, you know, we have better stuff to wear. Bayonet knife. We have another. Is it like an improved version of this or something? Yeah, this is a better version. Okay. But yeah, there was no fight at all. I wonder if there could have been a fight. So there's no more quests on this planet, I presume. So now, where's Catrafel's Calamity? Of course, yeah, I have to go to the bridge first. Okay, let's do that. Then see if we're gonna go to Footfall or Catrafel's Clap. Just go in. Void Ship Bridge. What are you gonna do now? You have proved your family innocent and all that. I'm gonna go to Disneyland. You know, Disneyland is very chaos coded, as they say nowadays. Lord Captain's quarters. Whoa, where is... Here is Abelard.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Viserians would be so vulnerable while I serve as seneschal to the Lord Captain himself, far from home. To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Viserian family, I have a responsibility to my bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as seneschal to the rogue trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role, if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs, and still serve the von Valancius dynasty.
You told Abelard that with your coming to power, the established procedures within the dynasty would change. What do you want? Tell me plainly.
Under Lady Theodora, I served as steward of the Trade Protectorate on more than one occasion. In that capacity, I was based on Argonaut, rather than traveling with the rogue trader on the flagship. If it would be possible, after the immediate need for my presence is over, I would like to return to that position. To oversee the Trade Protectorate on the capital world, while at the same time presiding over the Viserian family, and using my authority to help elevate it.
Yes, I understand your desire. Traditions and old ways must change. I will allow you to return to Argonaut after the immediate crisis in the Expanse has passed.
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper, in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain, it is time I return to my duties. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I no longer need your services. No.
Lord Captain.
Guess then we can head off somewhere else. The Corona's Expanse. This is Gatrofels, whatever, and this is Atlas. This is, yeah, there's still a couple of resources. Maybe I want to go here before we go. And there's also these thingies. Yeah, let's go north first. North in space. Lord Captain, the Astrobatic Choir has received word about a pirate fleet that is preparing to attack one of our richest extractiums. I believe it's the thugs from Elusive Contempt again. The next target is one of the planets in the silence of Mersegrit. That night, okay, something happened. We gotten this event before. No, so where is Mersegrit? Have a silence, so it's like here. That's quite far. Oh yeah, yeah. There was some rumor here as well. Yeah, Langren's belt. Well, I guess we have to go there later. Let's check out this planet or this system. Oh. We have unknown anomaly. What is this? Provisions. We are not digging for them. We have okay amount of provisions. 6. I guess it's fairly valuable, like, you know, lots of them. Let's make sure that we have both. Yeah, we have both. go check out the warp thingy. Study pussy in space. Endless canvas of the cosmic void is interrupted by what looks like a bottomless hole. A sight cannot pierce it, no stars, no planets, no cosmic dust. There is only total darkness, Nagilum. The Augur team has failed to glean any information from the anomaly, and under the influence of a mysterious force, the void ship is slowly drawn to the heart of the darkness. The officers on the bridge worriedly look up from their cogitators. The machine screens turn on and off chaotically, not obeying any of the operator's commands. The walls of the bridge, the crew's silhouettes, the ship's holy machines tremble and stretch out like rubber bands. Alerts of malfunctioning cogitators and maddened chronographs come in from every deck, as do reports of indescribable hallucinations gripping the crew. While the tech priests are trying to placate the machine spirits, the helmsman Raver reports that the situation is bad. Navigational systems are barely functional, and the invisible force is getting stronger and accelerating, ceaselessly dragging the vessel into its dark bosom. There is little time, and the Lord Captain must decide: leave the dangerous place or give in to the force and study the anomaly from within. Determine if the archives contain data on such anomalies. Success, of course. Few operators manage to wring a minute amount of useful information out of the archive. Such anomalies are extremely rare, randomly appearing gravitational wells which connect different points in space over a wormhole. Where such a well leads is impossible to predict. We just saved, so direct the vessel to the center of the anomaly. The closer the vessel gets to the hole, the faster it's pulled in. Thousands of people on every deck are crippled by panic. Their bodies are turning into thin, twisting threads, fraying and tearing into pieces, exposing veins, bones, internal organs, falling apart into screws, plates, and bolts. Tech priests continue to offer relentless prayers to the machine spirits, but the binary chants melt into endless screams and cries for help. Finally, the void ship jumps into the cosmic tunnel with torturous lurch. So yeah, I guess it's a wormhole. Or maybe we just ended up in hell. Hello, Mr. Doom guy. Alright. Where are we? Argonaut 2. What place is this? Where is this? There's lots of rumors. Yeah, I don't wanna, like, maybe we can, if the anomaly is still there later, maybe I can teleport there then, if it takes us to the same location, but for now I don't wanna. Go there. Let's see, like, will it disappear if we just leave it be? First this. Cast Fate to the Wind, take no action. No. Break out of the anomaly. Barely overcoming the anomaly's pull, the void ship crawls in the other direction. Nightmarish cacophony of moans, prayers, and the screeching of metal fills every deck. Thousands of people are gripped in panic. Their bodies are turning into thin, twisting threads, fraying and tearing into pieces, exposing veins, bones, and internal organs. By chance, or by the Emperor's grace, the void ship successfully clambers out of the tenacious grasp of the anomaly. Its influence dissipates on board systems, return to normal one after another, and the deformed bodies and the crew take on their original shapes as if nothing had happened. Now only the reminder of the event is dull muscle pain. Alright. So, and it's still here until we go through it. I guess that's cool. We got, 14 experience or something from the tech use row, so it's totally worth it, right? Let's go this way. I guess I should check all of these. I think we're still missionaries. Yeah, we've done this. Okay. False wonders. +4 macro cannon damage against chaos and Xenos enemies. Yes. Oh, we can do this. I think, was it last time it wasn't available? Let's do this now then. Death Cult of the Emperor. Efficiency +3. Dogmatic. Great Fire. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Payment in organs. It's 3 people. Complacency. It reduces security, but I sort of... Yeah. No Xenos. I guess secret lair. Yeah, let's do that. Eye of the Omnissiah. How much mechanisms? We don't have many mechanisms. I guess. I sort of want to try that. Remembered in prayers. Allies gain +5 willpower and 1 resolve. Plasteel adamantine, I guess. How many plasteel? 30. Sure. Corruption has infiltrated Weebu 6. Oh, we are there right now. Lord Captain, the cultists of the Final Dawn have agitated the convicts into a full-blown uprising, promising them a chance at escape. The planet's cargo port and guard facilities are now under siege. The cultists themselves have not joined the assault. They have scurried into the mines, deep into the tunnels that were infected with Xenos corruption not too long ago. The overseers are reporting tremors. It seems that the heretics are trying to clear the cave-ins that we used to ward off the subterranean monsters. Why did the cultists head to that particular area? Unfortunately, we don't know the heretics' true objectives. There is nary a doubt that they are pursuing a sinister and wicked goal, therefore must be stopped. What's the current situation on the surface? The overseers are trapped inside the guard facilities, but there are many among the convicts who are loyal to your lordship. They remember your charitable mercy and may yet switch sides. I'd like to hear what my advisors have to say. Heretics seek out those who are weak of spirit and entice them with promises of salvation, but such spineless lot lacks the resolve to fight, and will drop their weapons should someone give them reason to fear. The purpose of many tactics in warfare is to sow terror in the enemy ranks, and I know these tactics well. Make them quiver et water. Those weaklings will forget all about their heinous intentions. Lord Captain, your resources and status allow you to make use of one of the most blunt and affordable tools for mercenaries. These dogs of war will storm the warp itself for the right price. Provide the overseers with some hired backup, and you can consider the crisis resolved. Trampled Cult Banner. Let's see what's this. We would get enemies that are targeted by the whereas psychic abilities must pass willpower resistance test with a -15 penalty or suffer bleeding and blinding. Whatever, I don't care about that. Lose efficiency and get the banner Ulfars. Fiend of Weebu 6. All allies gain +10 coercion whenever an enemy enters 5-cell radius zone around the rogue trader or the allies. This enemy must pass a willpower resistance test with a +5 bonus or become staggered for 1 turn. If 2 or more allies are close enough to trigger this effect, the enemy must pass the resistance test for each of these allies. Okay, that sounds sort of fun. Like, it's not... Well, the coercion is nice too, but it's not likely to happen that often, the staggered, because they get bonus, but still. Oh. Also, feed Abelard called your mercenaries, chambered by the quarries. After the admirable performance in the battles of Weebu 6, the mercenaries are eager to serve the rogue trader. Many among them are seasoned combatants who can man the void ship's cannons. All lance weapons deal +20% more damage. I guess I still like Ulfar's decision or suggestion most. And this would reduce complacency, but I don't know if that's that bad. There's some bonus to it too. Yeah, Ulfar, show my people how to instill fear in their enemies. Ha! I shall teach them some secrets of this art. Following the advice of the formidable Space Wolf, the overseers carried out a series of reprisals and acts of intimidation. Limbed behind mutilated corpses and infiltrating the rebel camp under the cover of darkness, they crushed the rebels' morale and forced them to surrender their weapons. The leaders of the conspiracy, the cultists of the Final Dawn, were confronted in the mines. They had surrounded a strange dark xeno-obelisk covered with glyphs. Trying to awaken it from its slumber, the glyph patterns were similar to those that the mad convicts had drawn before. The monstrous construction contained enough energy to tear the planet apart. By heroically disrupting the cultist plan, the guards caused a malfunction within the terrible machine. Instead of exploding, the obelisk emitted a blistering heat wave, melting itself and turning those around it to ash. Weebu 6 has been saved. Hurrah! There was much rejoicing. Penal Battalion. Battalion of Dicks. Earthbreaker. What do we want? This would cost a lot of people and cause inefficiency. Cost some profit and security, all for all the colonies. Costs mechanisms. I don't want to use mechanisms. How about this? This doesn't cost anything right now. Craven's Bane and some. Yeah, let's do this. Navy Whips. Disciplinary officers of the Imperial Navy will make for wonderful wardens on Weebu 6. Yeah. I guess we don't really have to visit the world. Let's reduce the difficulty a bit and go there. Enforcers from different decks. Okay, some event we've gotten before, so nothing really happens. So what sort of event do we have here? That was a bug. I don't know if I caught it or not. I don't see the corpse on my hands, but I tried to slap it. But there's a Hulk, and there's okay. That only 2 provisions. I don't really need that. Unforeseen event. What's this Hulk? Hulk smash. Strange vessel enveloped in pale orchid mist sails past the stained glass windows of the captain's bridge. Familiar coat of arms appears on its thoroughly dented ragged hull. The House von Valancia's coat of arms. The Ogre crew reports that this is the Light Seeker, an expedition void ship tasked with exploring the planets of the Coronis Expanse. This vessel disappeared without a trace over 600 years ago. The telemetry shows that the decks are empty and devoid of life, with no crew detected. Sight of the ancient void ship causes a throbbing headache and inexplicable disgust. Where did it vanish for all those centuries, and how did it end up here? The Voxmaster reports that the elders of her clan told her tales about the Light Seeker. The legendary void ship has discovered plenty of bountiful worlds where the most profitable extractiums were placed later. Plenty of bountiful worlds where the most profitable extractiums were later installed. This vessel brought countless riches to the Von Valance's protectorate in the past, but its sudden disappearance after 600 years of oblivion seems wrong and dangerous. High Factorium Janice Danrock confirms that the Lightseeker is still part of the Von Valance's fleet. In other circumstances, the Factorium would have insisted on reclaiming the property of the protectorate, but who knows what had happened to the vessel during the centuries it was lost. The dark powers of the cosmos or even the warp itself could have corrupted the void ship. The worried whispers of the crew are silenced by an urgent alert. The ship is rapidly changing course. While closely watching the Lightseeker's maneuvers, your seneschal becomes certain. The vessel is preparing to attack. Ooh, cool. Abelard has heard a lot of bountiful worlds discovered by the void ship's crew, but he doubts the same brave voidsmen are at the helm now. Whatever dark powers are controlling the vessel, one thing is clear: it is a threat. The rogue trader needs to engage the unknown enemy and recapture the property of the Von Valance's dynasty. Ulfar is adamant that any void ship that has spent the past 6 centuries beyond the veil is corrupted beyond salvation. He says it must be destroyed at once. Yeah, I doubt there's much point in talking to them. Don't let Lightseeker attack first, take up advantageous position and engage. It would be cool if we got this like as an NPC or something to help us during fights, but I really doubt that's gonna happen. It's too corrupted.
Our faith will be tested.
Lightseeker. Premonition. Oh, evasion increased. Well, I guess we can first use this. Here, then yes. I guess. What is this? Corpuscary chant. Most damage shield restores. I guess we don't have to use it yet. Oh, we could have done this. I guess we can still do it. Oh, we can do premonition, so evasion. Don't get him in front of me, damn. Yeah, it's definitely chaos corrupted ship. What's going on here? Does it mean there's gonna... no. Yeah, these are like bad things. New heading. Guess we should use that. Don't think we'll be able to use the sideways shot on it. Not such a great hit. That was nicer. Oh damn it, we can't use warp wave. Damn it. I'll be right back. I have to go AFK. It was false alarm, I thought, because my wife took our kid out by herself and I'm alone. Finally, I can get to stream. Nobody else. I thought they were coming back and I had to open the door, but it was just somebody else nearby making noise. Yes. I don't think there's much we can do. Oh hey, this, let's see. So what is warp channeler? Oh yes. Oh, my powers are useful. Very nice. Okay, so there was nothing like to be like, you know, we didn't find some black box or something after the explosion to tell us more about the ship. What's this? Golden Forest of Amberworld look enchanting even for orbit. Okay. So there's probably some, you know, significant later in the game or something. Like maybe there's going to be a quest or something here. Sure. Is it too wasteful to reduce the difficulty? No, let's just go here. Oh my god, we took some damage. Chartist vessel. What's that? Was it here last time? Well, no, I don't see it, but it was like in the preview. But okay, we get some blast steel. Nice. Yeah, because we were last time when we were here, we were abducted by the Drukhari, so I couldn't, because I didn't want to put down the extractiums beforehand, before I explored everything here, but then we were abducted. You know, that happens sometimes. Chart new routes. I guess we are gonna go here and chart the route. Yeah, maybe I should check these. Have the projects finished? They have. All right. That costs, well, plasteel and promethium. We should have decent amounts. People also. Sure, Imperial Navy likes it. Security is good. Security -2. Yeah, well. Chemicals. How many chemicals do we? Okay, it's 19. It's not that bad. Vials Felstow. The start of combat were against MP equal to the resolve. Cannot be slowed. If the war is dogmatic votary, they gain 2 resolve, or each rank in dogmatic cannot be immobilized. Not terrible. I guess Xeno's intoxicant. Let's do that. Lord Captain, there has been an act of sabotage on Kiavagama. The cult of the Final Dawn has invaded the planet, cultivated a pack of schismaticals in the bowels of the manufacturers, and set them upon us. The attack was so sudden that we almost lost all the workshops, but we had help. Some entities already being called Data Angels have invaded the cogitational network, seized the cogitators and servitors, used them to repel the first onslaught of the schismaticals. Now there is a fierce struggle taking place all over the planet. The noosphere of the world is boiling. Fortunately, we received information about the impending attack at the last moment. The signal was intercepted in the warp by Cubis Delphim's machine. How did the cultists infiltrate my world? This was part of the coordinated attack that hit the entire expanse. The heretics must have been preparing a long time. Thanks to the fact that the planet had been thoroughly purged of the corrupting influence of Cubis Delphim, the cult now has nowhere to hide and no collaborators on the planet. They have utterly failed to compromise our world's defenses. What do we know about these data angels? Not much. They are machine spirits, beings born of the art of data smithing. They charge into the battle chanting the same binary mantra that the participants of the Procedure 0C chanted. The lodges who have been observing them, the same tech priests who have previously investigated the cells used in Procedure 0C, have deciphered traces of their activity and discovered patterns pointing to the possible creators of these data angels. If they are right, then they bear the seal of the Explorator Cognizance fleet. Accessing the fleet's catalog, no mentions of operations on Kiavagama detected. No information on data angels detected. Hypothesis: either there has been a calculation error or the information is locked behind a higher level of sacrament security clearance. I wish to hear the opinions of my officers and advisors. The manufacturers on Kiavagama are equipped with backup cogitators to ensure the continuity of production in an emergency. The severity of the situation authorizes disruption of the service algorithms. I'm prepared to sanction a ritual that will allow the data angels of the Omnisia to absorb cogitators' computing power to combat these wicked spirits. You get complacency and blessings of the data angels. Okay, let's see. What do we get from blessings? All allies gain 5 perception and plus 10 armor penetration. May metal never betray the master whose deeds please the Omnisia. Well, that sounds good. About the other option. Terror of Kiavagama. Security is good, but machine creatures, necrons, and creatures with the reject the flesh creature deal minus 10% less damage to Rogue Trader and their allies. Well, it's not bad either, but I guess I sort of like the blessing of the data angels. Pascal sanctioned the ritual of bonding with the backup cogitators. The request to perform the sacrament is accepted and will be fulfilled immediately. Having gained access to cogitational reserves and after being infused with power, the data angels charged at the schismaticals. The hordes of data spirits were tech exorcised and exterminated, and the afflicted mechanisms purged and restored. The tech priests gave praise to the Omnisia for protecting the production algorithm from severe disruption. After banishing the schismaticals, data angels withdrew into hiding inside the cogitational networks, leaving the servants of the Omnisia to guess at who or what these beings were. Alright. I wonder if they have something to do with Nomos or something. Oh, we could get one of these level 5 crap. All allies gain plus 20% minimum damage to their ranged attacks. Rogue Traders' weapons carry the blessings of supreme armorers of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Sacrament of Flight. I don't know. I don't want to think about them right now. Let's just do this lower level stuff. Profit. Brand of the motive force. Fine. How much phlogiston do we have? Yeah, it's okay at an amount. Oh, we get mechanisms out of this. This is good. Oh, profit factor gained. Call to arms. Freedom feature. Well, we have some iconoclast, so we would get a little bit of fellowship. Yes, there's no harm. Charter of minimal rights, I guess. Navy whips. Whips and chains, knives and guns, sticks and stones. Pure blood. Burn some people, lose efficiency. Imminent torment. Don't really like. It's like, you know, Casbalic mission. Like, we get some people. I don't know. Let's reduce security. Surely it can't backfire too. So captive Xenos. What's the button? This. I think we got some new stuff. Yes. Actually can't say if this is better than the one we have right now. The Ultimo Array. It's 90% hit. I think that's better because, like, overall the 90 and 20 is 92 with 15. Like, of course, overall we would hit more, theoretically speaking, but... And this is yellow. Yellow is better, right? Where are we now? We are here. Okay, so is it finally time to head to this place? Was this the Heinrichs? Yeah, Emelina, that was some Heinrichs mission. Lord Captain, we have arrived in Dawn 4 system. Our translation from the warp was a little rough. A net loss of about 500 souls in the middle of the service deck and middle and service decks. The God Emperor only knows how many wounded. But that's only half of it. The brain boxes on the augers are sending me reports that aren't doing my mood any favors. The real space here got more holes than a sieve. No all our sensors are playing up. It's got to be sorcery, Lord Captain. If I was you, Lord Captain, I'd do what I came here to do. Do right sharpies and clear out, while we still can. I've seen the likes of this before in the same region. Maybe your sorceries will be able to explain it better, but here's what I know. Shit like this never ends well. Distorted star. Scan. Oh, there's Prometheum. So this is the other photon. The surface of the star shimmers with myriad of hues. The dance of colors fascinates any who dare glance it. The playful colored patterns appear on the vessel's augurs in a wide variety of spectra, from infrared to ultraviolet. The every voidsman knows that such emissions are dangerous to organic matter, and Master Helmsman Rayor asked the crew to resist the desire to admire the star. So it's like the sirens or something. Not everyone manages to follow this advice. Some crew members suffer from nausea and headaches. Order the shutters of the bridge's panoramic windows closed. Oh, okay. Oh, there's another planet there. Okay, that's the planet we're supposed to be exploring. Let's go fight the fleet. Whatever kind of ships they are. So, are they pirate? I don't really remember what's the backstory of this quest, except that Emelina has somebody important to Heinrichs and the Inquisition. Drukhari have blocked the flagship's moves, okay. So where's all the enemies? Here and here and here. Ooh, that's like a big dude. Let's go take out the smaller guys first. It's not like I'm afraid of the big bad wolf or anything. But maximum overdrive. Oops. Ah, damn it, can we still move? No. I fucked it up because I was moving or whatever. We are here now. So we can at least fire the missile. Yeah, we can't really reach anybody. Guess we can scan one of these dudes. Bloodied claw. Hello. Pew pew pew. Ew. Okay. Nice. And the other one took damage as well. Guess we should... It's probably not gonna blow up, so maybe we should follow. Does this guy have, like, not have shields? Don't you guys have shields? Is this, if I use this, is it? No, it should be. Come on, it's the same square. And I guess I should first do this. It's a bit dangerous, perhaps. Like, you know, it's gonna ram me, it's much bigger. I guess it cannot ram so close, at least not effectively. I guess that's it. Pew pew pew. Okay, at least hit once. It's not like complete embarrassment. Didn't move at all. Or if he moves, will he fall? Come on, Mr. Sword. I believe in you, you can do it. Torpedoes. Okay, that's nice. Nice. Very nice. New heading. What if we go like this? Oh yes, then we can shoot another sidewise salvo. Okay. At least we hit something. Was it? Ooh, 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 ooh. We can still shoot like this. Very nice. Kaboom! Nice fireworks. Yeah, sure. Okay, do it, Mr. Sword. Nice. You're not completely useless. I'm still, you know, imagining that my son is in the room next door sleeping, because usually when I stream that's the case, but not this time. I'm sort of like wondering how is he doing, but no, he's not here. So let's save. Seki, whatever. So let's check out the planet. Photon 4. Excavation site. So Heinrichs wants to join, then maybe leave Abelard behind because they're sort of similar. Pascal. Sure, I guess this is good enough. Hey, now we have very like male-dominated team. Away team. I'm gonna go get myself. All right. The landing strip for cargo shuttles is strewn with rubbish. You notice a few reddish-brown spots. Warden of the East.
My Lord Ulfa, would you mind?
No! Get back! Do not speak to me! Get out of my sight, you devious little bloodhound!
Yeah, I guess they don't like each other. The vanquished aircraft obviously fell from a height. Too much time has passed now to determine the cause of the crash. Probably shot with a missile or something. Or las cannon or who knows. Spikes have been fashioned from whatever their creators had to, and the pitiful barricade is unlikely to stop anyone who is determined to get through.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Powerful smell of promethium lingers in the air around the burning mechanism. The machines were doused with the accelerant and set alight. Douse hair with gasoline, set it light and set it free. Overseer.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
The sentry rubs her eyes and gawks at you. One half of her face is covered with a bulky, rusty augment of unknown purpose. You came to rescue us, says her. Praise the God Emperor, it reached you. The sorcerer's message reached others like him. May he rest in peace. We are most honored by your presence. Please, come forward. Quickly, out of the darkness. The woman hurriedly checks out nearby lumen, her hands visibly shaking. Those creatures come from the dark, you see. But not for much longer. Not for much longer. And now you're here. Mistress Lichtenheart has already found a way to help us. Liechtenstein, the Queen of Liechtenstein. Heinrichs dourly listens to the sentry's speech. He takes a few steps forward, intently peers at her face as the woman herself freezes in fear. Then Heinrich scowls and cuts a glance at you. We need to hurry. Lord Warp, examine her face. Success. Even under the wavering lumens, you notice something strange. The lightly skewed proportions, the almost undiscernible asymmetry of her facial features. Looking at the other sentries, you see the same oddity in their faces too. The fact that they are all wearing the same strange ramshackle implants, which clearly are not combat augmetics. Heinrich's meteors. Noticed, have you? Don't jump to any conclusions. It could be a local genetic anomaly. It could be something else. We can't say anything for sure yet. Heinrich looks past sentry. By the stroke of luck, it seems we have found who we are looking for. You mean Mistress Lichtenstein, my lord? We wouldn't have survived with our fear. It just happened that she was here at a local excavation when the monster started appearing. We've been losing contact with the other sites on the planet since then. The candle's been snuffed out after another. The rest of them have all perished, but we're still here, holding on. What's happening on the planet? It's terrible, my lord. I don't even know how to describe it. It's been, how long has it been? A few months, probably. A few months of being plagued by these sorcerous beasts. As soon as the night fell, they came, creeping right out of the shadows, black as soot. There's no stopping them. The only thing that's worked so far is keeping the fires burning and maintaining a constant watch. Even with that, the creatures drag us off once in 2 seconds we drop our guard. Heinrich furrows his brow. Sorcerous creatures from the shadows? Could they be demons? That would explain the presence of warp anomalies in the system. Local breach. Survey the barricades. They do not appear to be very sturdy. Please, my lord. The sentry is on the verge of tears. Do you think we are trained guardsmen? We are from the expedition convoy. We lived here for generations, and up to now the God Emperor has guarded us from misfortune. But now we have to fight. The survivors have all gathered in the tunnel. We've handed out what weapons we have, but how is that supposed to help us against these butchers? We don't even know how to use our weapons. You mentioned an expedition. Yes, about 30 years back, we were brought here with a lot of clever people from some high-ups, adeptus or something or other, whatever, and we lived here ever since. I've raised 4 kids here. 2 died at the excavations. 1 was taken by the monsters. My youngest still alive. Excavations. Perhaps the expedition, or rather its objectives, were what Emelina was interested in. Of course, the easiest portion would be to ask her directly. Interrogator shoots you a pointed, impatient look. I wish to see Emelina Lichtenhardt. Mistress Lichtenstein's inside, in the pit. You go on. Don't be afraid. She will be there to properly greet you. We'll stand guard. Thanks be to the Emperor for delivering you to us.
Know your duty.
There's some loot over here.
The machine god grants the insight.
I guess that's it. Let's go inside. Is this like sand crawler, like Java? That chill! Where's it come from? The creatures, they're coming! Weapons ready! God Emperor, preserve us! They're like non-zombies. Killed attacking mandrakes.
Of the retribution.
Ah, it's ambush, okay. The bush is an M, not a C or a D.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
So is Ulfar, he's like in 2 zones, does he get the bonus from both?
My vow is to serve.
Serve the Emperor of Mankind. No, this isn't. I thought this is also an enemy, but it's a digger. Fine.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
Decent hit. Nice. Okay, didn't stay down though.
Running binary override. My faith strengthens me.
What are you doing? Ouch. Oops.
Inquisition sends their regards.
Emperor, protect me!
Cassia. Now it doesn't... Like her lidless there, I think I have a feat that she doesn't do damage to her friends, but she would probably still kill these NPCs, so that's sort of pointless then. Nice hit. Oh, why did you come next to me? I didn't want that to... Well, we can just give somebody a turn. Yes, Argenta. She's... No, she's Argenta.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Let's go here. Kick this guy down.
Rejoice in battle!
Yes, that guy's dead. How does this work? Controlled shot. Soldier and the allies will automatically dodge. So that should... I can still save it for later.
Faith without deed, you my Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act.
Now let's go here. Do they take damage from this? They do. Nice.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. Doubt is for the weak eradicated.
Nice. We can still dash. Yeah, these diggers seem to be safe for now.
I'll do it.
It wasn't even a proper turn from her.
stand it! Heretics be damned!
Okay, now it's her proper turn. Let's see then. Let's test whether control shot damages the friendly NPCs or not. So these are enemies, alright.
As the Emperor commands,
oh, didn't protect that. Oh, sorry. I wasn't intending on murdering you, you know. So how many? Where are the enemies still? Are they like here? Ah, there was one here. Okay, okay. Can I slide here?
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Not quite.
Power resides
I
in the
guess
will
I
of the
can just
righteous.
use this. Oops, I shouldn't shoot that guy anyways. Nice.
Doubt is for the weak. Eradicated.
Okay, the last guy.
As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
They have Drukhari weapons. Well, yeah, there was a Drukhari fleet here, so... Pretty sure I pressed a button.
Watches over us.
Still something here. Guess I should do the level up. There's gonna be more fighting here. That much is obvious. Ensnare the prey. Yes, it's a trap. Any enemy entering the 2-cell radius around the trap activates trap. Each enemy in the 2-cell radius around the trap suffers 12 direct damage and must pass agility resistance test with 8 penalty or become immobilized until the enemy's next turn. Bounty hunter gains 4 MP at the beginning of that turn. A prey target marked as prey is always immobilized until the next turn. Hot on the trail. Bounty hunter designates enemy in a 12-cell radius as trailed, finishes his turn. If an ally kills trailed enemy, bounty hunter gains an extra turn after the ally's turn with all AP and MP remaining from the moment that the bounty hunter used hot on the trail. Until the bounty hunter's next turn, whenever an ally attacks the target marked as prey, this attack deals plus 6% additional damage and gains half of the bounty hunter's current bonuses to critical hit chance and the critical damage granted by hunt down the prey. Guess we can try the trap thingy. I don't know if it's gonna be that good, but it's sort of interesting. What's our intelligence? Should I raise intelligence? Light of the Emperor. Sword of Faith was this. Psychic power cost 50 momentum, can only be used when momentum is 175 or higher. Until end of combat, the weapon in the Psyker's hand is replaced by a sword made of sheer will. This sword has a single target attack and an area attack. Like a two-handed sword, can be used to release a cone of fire or a line of fire like a flamer. The damage of this sword is the same as that of Purge Soul. This thing, okay. The Psyker was using a force weapon. All the bonuses from that weapon remain, and for the purpose of talents and other bonuses, Sword of Faith counts as a force weapon. Where should I? What's this? This is some healing stuff. Yeah, this is healing stuff. This doesn't sound very good, but let's try Purge the Soul first. Let's get some strength. Dodge and parry. Yeah, no, I don't care about that. Confident. Okay, this is better, I guess. But instead of using, so it nerfs versatility basically, because you get, I get weapon skill and ballistic skill for every stack, so it doesn't actually increase. Now, if she has 4 or more stacks of versatility, Arch Militant deals additional damage. Yeah, so I don't know if I like that. Reckless Rush, gain more MP, I guess. Ballistics. Combat Locus. The Grand Strategy chooses one combat tactics area. For 1 round, all targeted bonuses are doubled. All other tactical areas are discharged and cannot be used this turn. Strategies uses one of the combat tactics areas for 1 round. Allies that area gain armor, cannot be over-penetrated. Still funny, gain immunity to the prone effect, gain +2 deflection. Trench line. I think let's get Stronghold, fine. Got strength last time. But toughness. Let's get some toughness. Emulate the Soul. Deals damage to all targets in line. Okay, just inflicts soul burn effect. Reveal the sight. So it creates a circle. Anybody who gets there and has to make willpower is immobilized. It doesn't do damage. Or did we have like assign objective? Marks enemy. If that enemy is killed by one of Master Tactician's allies, beginning of Master Tactician's next turn, that ally gains resolve. Momentum. Gains momentum and +5 to our characteristics. Should I get that? Finish the job. Sure, let's try this. It sounds sort of fun. Agility. I think we use, was it like willpower for agility? We have some sort of perk that does that. And we should raise willpower. Yeah, wildfire. But let's get some perception. Leveled again. Can we talk about the attack? Have you come to take us away from this place? You're here to save us, aren't you? Okay, let's go inside. Giant gate barring the way to the excavation site.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Yeah, it's like a Java sand crawler or something. From Star Wars. Maybe you've heard of it. I know it's a bit obscure, but maybe you just have. More overseers. Thanks to the God Emperor, he hasn't forgotten us. He hasn't boarded up passage. Okay, let's go break the passage.
Strong and wise is Ulfa.
Oh, you shouldn't have, my lord. Shut up. Oh, what's this?
Damn it! It's a Vox liturgy twisted by warp sorcery. Try not to listen too closely.
May the hearts of the faithful not be daunted by the vile speeches of the foes of humanity. May our faith be strengthened in the face of all corruption and foulness.
The altar would be unremarkable if not for the uncanny sound streaming from its built-in speakers. What once was a Vox recording of a liturgical device is now a malevolent parody of the noble faith. Shouldn't we just shoot all of them? They're clearly corrupted. A steam tank. Cool.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Conveyor belt littered with a mixture of stone chippings and fragments of human-made items. Rust on the mechanical components indicates that this machine has stood idle for a very long time. Boxes stuffed full of shards of pottery, metal, and other discarded human-made objects covered in a layer of soil. The powerful smell of promethium lingers in the air around the burning mechanism. The machines were doused with the accelerant and sent alight. Hey, there's some loot here.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Instigator's mantle. Taunting scream. Targets do not need to fail the willpower resistance test to be affected by this ability. Okay. Swift Shroud Cloak. Whenever the wearer is targeted by an attack of opportunity, they gain 1 stack of Swift Shroud effect and +8 dodge against this attack. Also, the wearer gains +2 MP every time they are targeted by an attack of opportunity. At the end of that turn, wearer expends all their Swift Shroud stacks to grant all allies dodge until the wearer's next turn. Not that exciting. Fireman is sort of appropriate for this place. I'm gonna succeed in this.
I rise above hardships.
Strange debris is scattered across the table's surface. Your attention is drawn to the whimsical patterns on the broken pottery and tablets, but when you try to take a closer look, the world starts to swim before your eyes. It's clearly chaos
Let the
stuff
faith
here,
guide my path to glory.
which shouldn't be a surprise, since this is an Inquisitor mission. So where is Emelina? Is she this way? Cats of Ulfar. Primitive excavating equipment suitable for use by unskilled workers. Was it help us come at last? Blah, 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 blah. This Emelina. The stooped figure draws back the hood of the grimy robe, revealing the emaciated face of a woman. Her skin is stretched taut over her skull and sickeningly protruding augmentations, and her cheek is marred with several open wounds. She looks at you with a feverish gleam in her eyes. The visual description matches Interrogator Van Callox. The sage blinks several times and her head twitches. You made it here after all. Heinrich's usual mask of stoicism has melted away without a trace of. He stares around him in undisguised dismay. Emelina, what is this? You're performing the archenemy's rituals. But no, stop right now. Not another move unless I tell you. The sage draws herself upright as far as her crooked spine will allow, flicks several switches on her facial augments. Then she turns to you, ignoring Heinrich's words completely. Have you brought it with you, Interrogator Van Callox? Clearance level. Adolf Argonaut von Valancius, rogue trader and god emperor's anointed. Emelina Lischenhardt dips her head. Von Valancius, rogue trader dynasty, territory to the galactic west of Furibendus. The head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valancius, has been flagged for her heretical sentiments. Threat level. Heinrich gestures at the room. I brought the help you requested in your message, Emelina. Voidship under the aegis of Rogue Trader. I dragged thousands of people and megatons of plasteel and ceramite through the bowels of the warp. And for what? To discover that you have sold yourself to the archenemy? Emelina shakes her head. You are drawing conclusions based on incomplete knowledge of the situation, Interrogator Van Callox. Your judgment is impaired. Heinrich finds Emelina addressing you in this strange manner. I expect that Emelina has chosen to seal the memory block containing data of personal nature. She does this whenever she is concerned that somebody might try to extract the information about Calcasar's coterie from her. Heinrich thinks for a moment and then in a clear voice says, Sigma Prosperity. He pauses before repeating the strange phrase. The reminiscence block you are attempting to access was repurposed. It now contains knowledge of the rituals performed by the shamans of this place. My standard working memory alone was insufficient to record all the nuances I uncovered in my research here. Heinrich looks as though he has been punched in the gut. Emelina, you deleted the data about all the members of Calcasar's unit? You wiped us all? Of course not. I retained a portion of the reminiscence blocks data relating to the operational significance of the Lord Inquisitor's unit. That is how I am able to recognize you, Interrogator Van Calax. What happened on Thorn 4? I came here on supreme directive of the Lord Inquisitor. An Adeptus historical mission was established on Thorn 4 to study the origins of civilization that once inhabited the planet. This world was once settled by humans. The mission aimed to discover which colony ship they came from and why they disappeared. The traces of the ancient culture uncovered in the layers of the soil suggest that the existence of primitive solar faiths among the dark inhabitants of this world. Faiths that are strictly similar to worship of the archenemy. The surviving scrolls indicate that shamans used the gifts of chaos to protect their people, to secure the harvest, to imbue their warriors with strength and vitality. That this culture persisted for thousands of years. I was cataloging data when the attacks began at one of the remote outposts. I immediately recognized the enemy by their tactics, Drukhari. They chose an unremarkable defenseless world where night lasts half a year. By the time 5 outposts had been swallowed by the darkness, the last astropath had been torn to pieces, and many calls for help sent to Calcasar's unit had gone unanswered. I realized that no one was going to save these people, or this knowledge, so I put the knowledge to use for the good of humanity. This is total insanity. So she basically turned to chaos to fight against the Drukhari. Insanity is maintaining mental rigidity in fluctuating circumstances. This world is important to the Imperium and for our struggle against the enemies of humanity. To perish along with this world would be the height of wastefulness. If I am to form an assessment of your actions, I must know the purpose of the ritual we interrupted when we arrived. Answer me. I made him more callous. Yes, the game likes to remind me. Emelina lifts her gaze upward. It will rid this world of its half-year-long night and mandrakes of their total advantage over us. It will force a new heavenly body, this one of human making, to rise above the horizons and illuminate the dark side of the planet. If the ritual works, I will have mastered the secret of forging a new sun. Book of the New Sun. This is madness, pride and monstrous, staggering heresy. Heinrich's voice is barely audible, as if his throat has closed up in shock. Do you mean to say you discovered a ritual for creating a sun here? Buried under silica and granite are knowledge and resources that could repel the enemies of humanity. We are too afraid of anything labeled prohibited. My memory contains thousands upon thousands of pages from manuscripts, tomes, and scrolls. Contact with any one of these is supposed to guarantee instant death, but the preachers who claim this are liars. I am living proof of their falsehoods. A fine time to show your true colors, Inquisitor. Let's see if you will do what is right, or once again prove that you consider yourself above the rules. Lord Ulfa, with all due respect to you and your chapter, keep your mouth shut. Your skepticism is the last thing I need right now. I like his comeback. Who I have become, Interrogator Van Calax. I am what any agent of the Golden Throne is predestined to become if they are able to see through the essence of things. I have, as the Puritans say, succumbed to the heresy of radicalization. Moreover, in doing so, I am only following in the footsteps of our mentor. The only difference is that I have chosen the path of the oblationists, while he chose the Xenos hybris, forging an alliance with the cursed Drukhari. What unthinkable accusations! Lord Inquisitor is in league with the enemies of humanity? Emelina, suppress your urge to debate internal matters in the presence of the Rogue Trader. Additionally, I will not tolerate insults to the Lord Inquisitor in my presence. Xenos Hybris Oblationists, I have no idea what these things are. They are the names given to philosophical ideologies practiced by agents of the Golden Throne. They have nothing to do with the current Sith. Actions are being driven by this philosophy, Interrogator Van Calux. Mine, yours, the Lord Inquisitors. Why are you avoiding talking about the fact that Xavier Calcazar is a dangerous radical, no less dangerous than I am? Except I'm not driven by utopian ideals, but by a desire to protect humanity, using a broader range of tools. What you call a broader range of tools is heresy, Emelina. Unremarkable, commonplace heresy. Heresy that has taken on a twisted form in a mind subjected to prolonged contact with corruption. The archenemy has been gnawing at you from within, creating a star with a chaos ritual. You have crossed the line. No, you have obliterated the line. No line crosser, you. The line? The lines are for the weak and the ignorant. Anyone capable of weighing risks and making a calculated decision would have done the same as me. To protect the Imperium's domain, to deliver a preemptive strike even on Valancius. Emelina whips around to you. You're a simple mortal endowed with huge power and privilege, ruling over worlds, holding millions of lives in the palm of your hand. Tell me, would you have done the same in my position? I would not have made the same mistake. Yeah, I would have made a different mistake. Blinkered vision and narrow mind. A warrant of trade in the hands of such a person is a dangerous prospect indeed. Emelina shakes her head spitefully, her eyes filling with blood. The only one to answer my call, and you turn out to be a brainwashed pawn. I did not factor in the possibility of a psychological dependence. Calcazar can be persuasive, especially to those who depend on him. A favorite sorcerer, Caspalican renegade. Oh yes, Interrogator Van Calux. Xavier Calcazar's stalwart little brother. You will die, just like Tanakia. Emelina Iana Eichenhart. Heinrich begins stiffly formal before breaking off. Tanakia? What do you know about Tanakia? Emelina shakes her head. You don't even know what fate befell her, do ya? I suppose it won't hurt for you to know something of it. A strange sound causes the sage to fall silent. She turns toward the tunnel. So what is Tanakia? Lights are coming out there. They're coming out of the mine. So the dudes are attacking. Oh no, so scary. I'm pissing my pants. Well, that's not too far off the mark. I've been drinking a lot while playing, so eventually I might piss my pants. The beast, they're here. Ritual must be completed. Preparations must not go to enough. We need to block all the possible approaches. Light. We need light to dispel the shadows in the corners. Overseer. So wait, did we just kill the or is Overseer, is that Emelina? So are the mandrakes truly the baddies here or not? Okay, there's lamps. I guess we can just teleport next to one of the lamps. So is Emelina, is that her? It's probably her. I guess Argonaut can stay up here and snipe. Ulfar, try to go down, you fat ass. I guess everybody else can try to go down. Oh, she can go here, I guess. Mr. Van Kellogg's, Frosties. I guess he can also go here. Just here and I guess they're a bit, you know, apart from each other, but I think they will be fine.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Probably can't see these. Oh, we can. Fine.
Running binary override. My vow is to serve.
Let's turn on the lamp. So does it do damage to the dudes or something? Yeah, let's go here and hammer time. Do.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. I venerate you, machine spirits.
Nice.
Request of insignificant
Okay, that guy's
value.
dead. Ow.
Follow my lead.
Ew.
To the heretics.
Alright, Argenda's turn. She's on fire. Let's spot this guy down. Oh, she's... Okay. Or should I... Let's just do a shout
Faith
already.
without deeds is worthless.
Oops. I suppose whatever.
I'll do it.
I should have turned on the lamp first. She's too eager to murder.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I know. The wrong place. Right?
Doubt is for the weak.
I know. No, she turned it on. Okay. Oh, we see somebody.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Not a good shot.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. I'll do it.
I guess there's gonna be more of these guys sooner than later. Oh, this gives us more
As the Emperor
MP.
commands, I act. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Break their morale. For the glory.
Hey, don't shoot my tech priest.
Weapon at the ready.
Weather the storm.
Hey,
Stay vigilant.
these overseers, they're more dangerous than the enemies. Well, we probably have to kick their asses anyways. If they're trying to do some chaos ritual here. Let's see. That guy, yeah, we don't need a proper attack to kill that guy.
Step towards our ultimate victory.
Oh, that's not a good shot. Whatever, let's just give other people turns still. Because I don't think it's gonna end the fight when we kill the last dude.
I have read tomes of military tactics. Try to die with grace, at least.
Yeah.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
You like extra turns so much, so let's give you another. So where's the light? There's one more light over here at least.
Rejoice in battle!
Wait, this one is the reckless rush.
Guided by faith!
Guided by the light. We don't have one action point. This heal his fieriness. Wait, she already turned on the light. So is there still light somewhere to be turned on? I think all the lights are on. I don't see any, finger icons.
Everyone, step aside. For the throne's glory. But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object to it.
Ulfar.
I challenge you, Danget.
Doesn't really have any preparation thingies here. Okay, round 2. Emelina lets out an agonized moan. Wasted! All my work, all my preparation, all for nothing. Emelina Iona Lichtenhardt, in the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Order. Heinrich's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of all its fallen members is a matter for the Ordo. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation and other assets in Lichtenhardt's possession I hereby declare the property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Photon foreign people. What's your verdict? What would you advise me to do, Heinrich? Let's see what he has to say. This world has been compromised. Any attempt to assess the degree of corruption will necessarily be based on weak judgment, vulnerable to doubt and sentiment. I would get rid of the planet and its population. What will happen to the archives and Emelina? The archives will be sealed and transported to your ship as the official property of the Inquisition for further study and appraisal. Emelina is my responsibility. I don't really want to bring these survivors. You know, I've done too much iconoclast stuff recently. I guess this. I will not risk taking the survivors into my crew. However, I will not leave them unaided. They will be given supplies and support for the defense against the Drukhari. Or should we just nuke the whole planet? Whatever. So be it, Lord Captain. Now for Emelina. You are hereby stripped of all your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne and all attendant rights and privileges. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanakia Kalbergaria. Will that be necessary, Emelina? No, Interrogator Van Calox, the sage's voice is scarcely louder than a whisper. I have no intention of concealing that information from you. I am almost certain that Tanakia Kalbergaria was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Calcazar after being deemed a volatile element. Heinrich's face is a mask of disbelief and anger. You're lying. I have a rather unpleasant suspicion that the witnesses to this conversation are also at the risk of being eliminated at a later date. Let's just listen in silence. I saw one of Calcasar's documents when I went to receive my new orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a picked recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted in my mind, or on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript with a final annotation indicating the removal of the person from the retinue. And we both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, Interrogator Van Calox. Tanakia is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. Whenever Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show of strength, Kalbergaria was invaluable. Why would he do this? The name is so difficult for me to say. I'm gonna think about what she said a bit. Okay. Well, it's not a surprise if, you know, the other Inquisitor guy is a baddie, because that's been, you know, not so subtly hinted since the beginning. Emelina looks up at Heinrichs, her eyes full of despair. I do not know, Interrogator Van Calax. Just as I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concerns about his methods. Just as I do not know if I should blame the warp for the lack of responses to my calls for help, or if Calcazar prohibited the others from answering. The nature of her mission and of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse was likely why he chose to bury this secret, and Tanakia along with it. Emelina breaks off. The operational data indicates that you are the Retinue's primary torture specialist, Interrogator Van Calox. All this time, I thought you were the one who conducted Tanakia's interrogation, and one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I next encountered you or Calcasar's other servants. Heinrich says nothing for several seconds, staring into space. At last he begins to speak. Emelina, Jana Lischenhardt. Your knowledge is of particular interest to the Inquisition. Before your fate is decided, I will carry out the necessary procedures to extract the information from you. You can assist by providing access to your reminiscence blocks. However, unsealing inaccessible block will require greater force. So yes, he is more callous. Can we make him uncallous anymore? In other words, you are going to torture her to death. That is an imprecise way to describe the procedure, Adolf Argonaut. You are focusing only on the consequences for Emelina. I'm interested in the results of the process. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. it will take a few hours to deal with the excavation site and what the diggers found there, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. Alright, so we've sort of finished 2 personal quests today. That's cool, I guess. Some sticks and stones. But yeah, that fight was really so easy. I guess there would have been more enemies spawning each turn if we didn't get like turn on the lights, but since we did, they didn't spawn anymore. Well, go so deep you cannot see the bottom. The walls of the shaft reveal marks of the machinery that drilled through the rock, as well as fragments of an ancient sunken city.
Know your duty.
Huh? Still loot here. Where? I don't see any loot. Do you, game? I think the map is just glitching because we took all the stuff from here.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Can't we destroy the shrine at least? The shrine of evil. Evil. Hey, I managed to stream more than 3 hours because last few streams been quite short, and I'm not saying I'm gonna end the big stream yet. Guess I'll try to go on a bit longer still.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I wanna see if we can do. Like here on the bridge. You know, in addition to talking with Heinrichs. Can we now ask her to, like, you know, talk us? What missionary was praying next to Earliet?
Elantak?
Am I still
I
unworthy
trust your journeys were fruitful.
am I still unworthy of discussing your world with and your king?
This wound is still bleeding. But you may ask your questions. I will answer to the best of my ability.
Tell me again what happened to your craft world.
The memory of Monkey is just as fleeting as your span of life. Your predecessor infused Cruderach with corruption too strong even for the ancestors of the Infinity Circuit to repel. And while the dying world thrashed in its agony, the Dark Cousins captured the fleeing children of Assyrian, looking for seers to fuel the Homunculus's insane experiment.
So does that mean that Theodora was completely corrupted by chaos, or she was sort of like Emelina here, that she's, you know, only partially corrupted, I guess. What's this? Infinity circuit, crystalline psychoactive matrix that supplies a well of psychic power to an Eldari craft world and provides a massive ancestral mind to advise and guide the Eldari who dwell within.
As you wish, Elontark.
I'd like to hear about your kin.
This wound is still bleeding. But you may ask your questions. I will answer to the best of my ability. As you wish, Elontark.
Okay, I guess there's not much to talk anymore. Let's go talk to Mr. Van Kellogg's. Kellogg's Frosties.
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity, even those hiding in its own ranks. On this occasion, I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
What will happen to Emelina?
There are ways of breaking into her memory and extracting the secrets she is still keeping within herself. I will see to it that no secret escapes the grasp of the Holy Ordos. This is not the first time, or the last, I fear, that I will cause the death of someone close to me. There have always been reasons for it. Sometimes the reasons are dictated by duty, sometimes by my own personal volition.
Everything Emelina said about Calcasar, should we be concerned about it?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical. Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
What are you gonna do now that this is done?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Okay. Heinrichs politely inclines his head in response. My wife and kid came back home, then I guess I should end the stream, but I'm gonna, before I forget, let's go check out the shopping. Is there like some new stuff to buy? I guess we can, let's just iconoclast. Wear a +5 bonus to parry reduction. If the wearer has conviction, iconoclast, all allies gain +14 hit chance against enemies adjacent to the wearer. Wearer automatically dodges allies' melee attacks. Heavy flamer. Don't feel like giving them any friendship points right now, though. Oh, there's some stuff here. Storm bolter. Well, it doesn't look very good. Vortex pendants. Hurricanes +5 willpower each time they choose an ally or themselves as a target of an ability. Effect remains until the end of combat. Yeah. It's just combat. Cursebringer. Do we want any of this crap? I think it's very like old. Increases various hit chances to hit target's range of 10 or further by 20%. I guess that might be okay at some situation. These might be okay. Hi. What is this? Midas lance weapon. Seems decent. I guess I can give them a little bit of candy. I have to give them like only 500. Am I seeing it right? Yes. All right, let's go equip some of this stuff. I guess like 98 hit chance, like critical chance is really low. Let's try it though, because you should hit almost all the time. This one. Yeah, I guess. 120 protection for each sector. Well, okay, other one would be doubled against blast attacks, but I have no idea which are. Oh, here is shield. I guess. Guess I can go to this view and then save. But yeah, I guess I have to end the stream here though. But yeah, I feel like I accomplished something. Finished a couple of big quests. Can we still go to the excavations? I guess we can. I don't know if there's anything there worth anything. Should I? They have Promethium. I have a decent, but this is like very far. I guess we should use last extractor here still. It's not like we're finding new systems every 5 minutes. But I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching and bye bye.